Today we'll be going over an article written by a woman in which she basically complains and points out how men are now overreacting to the fact that, as a result of the Me Too movement, we're now starting to avoid women in the workplace and so on. So I'm going to go as an article here titled, Men Now Avoid Women at Work, Another Sign We're Being Punished for Me Too as Well. It goes on to say at the beginning of the article that a new study has discovered that we men appear to be following Mike Pence's lead, possibly because they're angry that Me Too ever happened. The Vice President of the United States famously refuses to have dinner alone with any woman who isn't his wife. And now working men across corporate America appear to be following in his footsteps. According to a new study to be published in the journal Organizational Dynamics, men are significantly more reluctant to interact with their female colleagues following the Me Too movement. A few key findings from the study include the fact that 27% of men avoid one-on-one meetings with female coworkers. Yes, you read that correctly. Almost a third of men are terrified of being alone in a room with a woman, which makes sense given how things have been going, and how you're basically guilty until proven innocent. God forbid there's a false accusation about something. It is estimated that 21% of men would be hesitant to hire a woman for a job that required close interaction, such as business travel. The data presented above was gathered in early 2019 from workers from a variety of industries. Researchers had asked the same questions in early 2018, and depressingly, things appear to have gotten worse in 2018. That's just the way things have gone. Don't blame us men for defending us because they can see what's going on. It is stated here that not only men are afraid of women, but women appear to be increasingly wary of hiring women. According to the findings of the 2018 survey, more than 10% of men and women expect to be less willing to hire attractive women than they were previously. But once again, guys could make harmless comments with no malice, and the next thing you know, they're hauled into HR and warned about it, or they lose their jobs. What's really interesting about this study is that it thoroughly debunks the argument that men are confused about what constitutes unacceptable behavior. The very first thing researchers did was look at 19 behaviors, such as emailing explicit jokes to a subordinate, and ask people to classify them as harassment or not. Both genders basically agreed on what harassment and titles entail and says, in quotes, that most men and most women know what sexual harassment is. They understand what constitutes harassment and what does not, which begs the question of why so many men are afraid to interact with women at work. In this day and age, we are sadly guilty until proven innocent. And fortunately, this is only going to get worse before it gets better. Perhaps a lot of men aren't afraid of being accused of anything as much as they are angry that Me Too ever happened. This is from her perspective, they're angry, and we've been made to think about their behavior, made to interrogate power dynamics they've always taken for granted, and they're punishing women for it for refusing to interact with them. Another form of victim blaming, another way to quietly put women in their place, say more bitching and complaining. I don't care what you do in life, there will always be some kind of reaction, one way or another. Women respond in a certain way, so there had to be a response to the Me Too and so on, so okay. Don't forget to hit the like button to help spread the word about this video. Thank you for taking your daily dose of red pills, and remember that a red pill a day keeps bad poker hands away. So have a good rest of your day and cheers.